India is an incredible place, as they say, incredible India. And it's a nation of complete extremes and opposites. There's great wealth and great poverty. There's also the extremes in color, all of those things that come together in India that touches every single one of your senses. And we have seen that time and time as we've gone in, we have been so touched by particularly the children there who've got nothing, who run around the streets. And one of our things has been to have a place in India where we could draw those people who've got no homes, no families, who just left on the streets. That's where they will live their lives. That's where they will end their lives.
The day before I went to India, we had some time off, so I went back home and saw my mate, who was got a 3-year-old, well, had a 3-year-old child. And when we got off the train, I think it was at Delhi, we walked through the car park and there was a 3-year-old little girl, same age, and the contrast in the way my mate's daughter was dressed and lives her life and all this, to the way this young 3-year-old little girl was begging in rags and stuff like that. It just blew me away. But then later on in the trip, going to Papa's house and seeing the work that Revival Fires does for these kind of children who really are brought up on the streets and fighting for food and fighting for survival, yet Revival Fires is, I guess, like a light in the darkness, who provide for them kids, who give them an upbringing, who give them love and are able just to minister to their basic need and gives them a hope, I guess, for a better life,
When the gatekeeper comes and opens the gate and we drive in the 4-wheeled truck that we bought for the staff there, and all the children are lined up in their best school clothes and they're all waving, saying, "Hi Auntie, hi Uncle." I just love it.
In 1 John it says, "We love God because he first loved us, and anyone who loves God must also love their brother and sister." And I know that the children at Papa's house are so loved because they show it in their faces, they're so happy, but also because God chose somebody like me from a little island miles away to travel all the way over to India to show them that they were special and that they mattered to God.
We've created an environment there for them where they can know the love of the Father and to know his provision in their lives, both in their just ordinary needs that they have, the food that they eat, the clothes that they wear, but also the education.
Bobby Conner writes in one of his books a great line that I'm stirred by. He says that despair, despondency and disappointment are fertile soils for the Holy Spirit, and it just reminds you that in places like that we can have the most impact, the most make the biggest difference, and no matter if it's just 1 person or 30 people, we can make a difference at Papa's house.
It just inspires me to remember them again in prayer, to remember their teachers, to ask God for innovative ways that we can help them to be creative, to branch out, to break out in their little lives, that they might experience God for themselves and realize that they've got a future, a destiny and a hope, even though they're in the poorest of places, that God can break into their lives.
And we set this up so that, just like Revival Fires is what we have here, that there would be children that we could call revival children who would be able to touch their nation, coming from the gutters, but changing the way that people live in their own nation because God's love has touched their lives.